Oh, welcome.
Episode
Okay, so we were literally
37.
We're in the middle
just
of talking
having a
about
conversation
euchre.
about euchre.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to lead in with euchre.
I want to bring up, don't you hate the subtle table talking that people like Tony do?
Absolutely.
There's no subtlety.
Okay,
I was
Tony's
gonna say-
not subtle. but
need
I
more
have a
definition
handful
some-
of diamonds.
all right.
Subtle and
Call
overt.
it.
Tony isn't subtle, but the people that are subtle about it, they're like, are we playing Farmer's Hand? Like, no, Mr. Nines and Tens, we aren't. Okay.
Or the guy across the table that's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or the person who just like throws their entire hand of cards on the table, just like pass.
Yeah. Or the pick it up. Like,
Or
oh,
the
okay. Like, you
really-
really need my help on
The
this one. Like,
extremely fast pass, you're like, okay, pass.
This is,
So,
why,
I do literally all of these.
this is why spades is just better.
You really
None of that
No.
stuff matters.
This is
No.
just
Spades
driving-
better if you've been to prison.
Or in the military.
Wow.
Those are literally the only two types
Those
of
are
people who
almost
played
the
it.
same thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, kind of. Except we get paid, but
do you
Well,
think?
I mean, they get paid too. Just
probably around the same. So yeah, it's the same food. I know that.
Oh god.
Same food. Well, no, they give the military the food the prisoners won't eat.
Oh, maybe. that would make sense why
You
there's been
get
bites taken out of my
hand-me-down meals.
cheeseburger.
All right, so I mean, what's going on? What's like relevant this week? Anything
the
like,
haps.
hot topic?
Psychic awakening tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that I'm pretty excited about it.
I
You
am
know what
too.
it's gonna be?
No, I mean,
Spider-Man
okay.
controversy is
Let's
going
take
back
some
and forth.
guesses on what
Okay.
Psychic Awakening in 40K is
I
going to
think
be.
Psychic Awakening is going to be endless spells.
I'm pretty positive
40K.
it's endless spells.
I think that's part of it. I think there's more to it than just endless spells.
I think if it's going to be endless spells, then that's the entirety of what it's going to be.
I'll tell you what,
Oh,
man.
I
don't
If,
think
if
so.
there's a wall spell in 40K,
To
that's,
block line of sight, that
that's
would,
real bad.
yeah, that'd be big.
It's so powerful in Sigmar, and
yeah.
there's very limited amounts of shooting. Okay, so
Why would it be that more? It would be less powerful in 40K.
It'd be
then?
more-
because it's
no,
it's
there's
a
more,
shooting game.
There's more
40K
shooting.
is
Yeah,
like
but
a lot of shooting.
There's so
But think
many
about how
things that
powerful
just
negative
ignore.
one to hit modifiers are. Now you're saying you can't shoot that.
Not everything in the game can just like move
Can
out of the
you-
way
can
of the
you
spell
shoot
through
and
it?
shoot you though.
What?
Can you shoot through?
No,
it?
that's what it is. You basically they're creating a wall.
No,
So you
okay,
can't shoot your
this-
enemies through it either.
No,
Like
this is
like I
speculation.
cast.
Jake, I don't.
This-
They're trumping it up.
But it's for both players then.
I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
so-
Yeah, I mean, it has
but
a
you're
clearly
putting
defensive-
you're putting it down because you anticipate a higher volume coming back at you than what you're
It
putting
also
out.
blocks movement, which is huge.
That has to be a pretty big wall
That's pretty interesting.
for 40.
Well, in Sigmar, it was
I'm sure that your
know,
guard
pretty decent
best
size.
doesn't
Like
care
tall.
at all.
What's
There's
that?
a
I'm
lot
sure
of really
it's a
tall
lot of your-
models
your
in
guard
40K
stuff
that
even
can see
cares,
over
though,
stuff.
right?
That's
Well,
all
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
all the
Like,
artillery.
like a knight is going to
Eldar
be very like it's hardly affected by a little wall.
Knights,
no,
Eldar, and
No, what
guard.
if your model is this big and that one's this big? You
It
still
doesn't
have
matter.
a wall
You
that
can't
big.
shoot through
in-
It depends.
in
That makes
Sigmar.
absolutely
Yeah,
well, it
every-
depends on where the wall's
It's
at,
also
but
a
yeah.
magical thing. Like it's
Yeah,
not
to be
just
fair.
the sheer. It's
Every
like the
single
brightness.
instance could be pointed out on where
Okay,
the
so
wall
let's say
works
it's
and
not
doesn't
magic.
work.
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's
like
fair.
if you have a model that's this tall and a model
It's a tall
that's this
model.
tall and this is the height of terrain.
Listen, man, you're getting into
How do you
Legion
shoot
syndrome
through
now.
it?
If your
regardless.
if your
If you can
model
see it, you
if
can
your
shoot
model
through
can actually see
So
it over the wall, then you can shoot.
So
it.
this magical wall creates a magical
That's not what it is.
barrier.
Well,
Well,
that's
well
not what
one
the-
of
the
one
wall
of the
in
walls
Sigmar
in
is.
Sigmar, it's like this prismatic barrier that's supposedly like so bright. If you're so close to it, then like you can't see it because of how bright the wall is.
Dude, the ruling's
and
weird.
that's like how the rule works. in
So
that.
my
that'd
Mortarion,
be
right,
different.
has a pistol on his right arm, like this, right? However, if 99% of his right side of the body can't see a model, but the left tip of his wing can see a model, I'm like, oh,
Well, see, you're saying that's weird. What that is, that's stupid.
yeah, that's true. That, so
I
it's
can
like
shoot
he's
from
like
the
doing
tread of my
this.
tank. That's stupid. And we need it fixed in 9th edition, GW.
I think
We're looking at you.
monsters are
Fix
a
it.
different deal than vehicles.
I think that is
Well,
where you get into a lot of problems.
last edition, what we had was if it was there was the decorative, or if it was actually part of the body of the model.
Yeah.
So you couldn't draw a line of sight from wings. You had to draw a line of sight from the actual body of the model.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any problem with monsters having to have a facing like Legion.
I think it's just a little. It can be confusing, because there are a lot of monsters that don't really. I think it might be kind of hard to define what facing is. So look at the Magnus model, for instance. In the Magnus model, he's standing kind of sideways. His head's facing a clear direction, but his body's kind of angled in a bunch of different
well,
ways.
so-
You can
Have you
literally
seen-
say everything in front of him you could shoot, but nothing behind him.
and
'cause
then
that
and then
makes-
you
Are you
also
saying
then you
all-
also have to draw a weird spot to where your sides are. It's
Are you
it-
saying
it
all
just
monsters
doesn't
are not
equally
agile?
apply.
Is that what you're saying? You're saying demon princes aren't agile? They can't
Listen,
just
all
swivel?
I'm saying is we
Have
had
you-
an issue in
Hey, if
7th
If
edition.
you got to explain it and justify it, then they're not doing a good enough job
Well, I'm just-
with
well,
the rules.
The rule is like there is no
Okay,
rule.
so
Yeah, I
in
might
7th
agree with
edition,
that.
the Flying Hive Tyrant was like
Hold
the
on
biggest.
a second. We just this is a moment in history.
Brad, I agreed with you.
I think so.
We've agreed all the time.
Yeah,
You've
flip-flopped
agreed with
a
me
lot.
on
Are
the
you
show.
allowed to disagree that no, you haven't?
So the Flying Hive
Oh,
Tyrant.
no! Oh no!
I don't get it.
We don't
The
agree
flying,
that
so
we've
Flying Hive
agreed.
Tyrant in 7th edition.
It could shoot 360, right?
Yeah.
So it
Oh.
would fly behind vehicles and shoot out of its ass.
Yeah.
Right. And it just. It's too strong, right?
That's-
If other
yep.
things are limited, if nothing's limited, it's not a big
Well, that
deal.
was only strong because
What's
we had
up, Jason?
armor value
right, but
on different sides,
but
so it
since
could
you
literally
didn't-
straight
your facing
vehicles.
of the model
but-
didn't matter, and now in 40K, none of it matters.
yeah,
so
it's fine
it
now.
doesn't matter.
But you're right. When it's that's I mean
So the way I
that's
see it,
a
have
big
you
important thing with games though,
have you,
right? If everything's fair, right? Like chess, like everybody's rooks have to act the same.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, the black
yeah,
rook
well,
doesn't ignore cover.
What direction is the rook facing?
Well, there's no facings in chess, so we're okay.
They don't have faces.
Have you
Some
you
of them do.
The
have
horse
you
has
seen
faces.
that like Resident Evil
The horse
Sing-
face.
singular face.
Resident Evil animated
got
clip where Leon just like goes ham on the hallway of zombies?
Yep.
Have you seen it?
I know
No.
exactly
Pretty
what you're
good.
talking
I
about.
don't know what you're talking about.
he wait, what? Not the funny one. I'm not
The
talking about
big,
funny
the
one.
biggest problem
No.
with that
That
scene
was really
is
good.
like
Jake, I'm gonna need you to get to the
unlimited
point, 'cause
So
I don't know what
anyways,
you're talking about.
he is going in all a bunch of different directions, killing like a million zombies. So like, it makes sense that in your turn of shooting, you would
He's
be able to
over-exaggerating.
turn and shoot wherever you want.
There's like 12.
Right, but it's different, right? Like a guy with a pistol is more agile than like a Tyrannosaurus, right? That for some reason has a cannon that it's holding like a gun.
But how do you know that?
It is
Well,
not.
you don't know.
It
but
is
you
not
would
holding it.
Right, it's growing, but it's
It-
like a
it
gun.
is- it
So
is it.
should we add agility
Hey, I love
stats to
Tyranids.
models?
No,
I think it would be easier if you just defined where it was facing.
I think. I mean, that would be. I think that would be hard just to do.
Like,
in
Legion-
general.
Legion does a
Where's
good job
just
with-
give a
with-
point of
with
reference.
facing.
Where's
To be fair-
faces facing?
To be fair, I agree that
if there's no face defined, it's the body.
I
of
agree
the
that some
chest
models
or
don't
something.
shouldn't have that ruling at all because a lot of characters will be able to turn and shoot in a matter of
The big
half
problem,
a second.
The big problem now is flyers. They can just maneuver all over the board, and it doesn't matter what way they're facing.
Well,
they can
I
shoot
think
360. so
flyers should definitely have a have
well, the fact that they
I
have
think at the
the fact that
very
they
least
have
they should.
actual
Yeah.
like movement rules, like they have to turn, they
Yeah,
have
they have
pivoting
rules involving
rules, and they
pivot,
can only go
yeah.
in straight lines. Like
But what that,
the fact that those rules exist, but then they can shoot in any direction,
Kinda
does make
defeats
it weird.
well, what it
purpose,
does
yeah.
is it lowers the skill ceiling to play them, right? Because it like I'm gonna get to shoot whatever I want as long as I move in range, and you will always be in range of the weapons you want to use, right?
Well,
Most
you
of
get
them are
60
bad
inch
anyway.
away.
especially with Eldar.
So it doesn't even really matter.
flyers.
Well, they don't have the.
Well, they've got Vector Dancer too.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know,
think they
like
have
they
Vector Dancer anymore, do they?
No,
That may
they've
be
got
the
stuff that
nerdy
allows
Other
them
flyers?
to take extra
Dude,
pivots.
I don't remember if they.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
sure.
they can like they can pivot
Vector
before or
dancer.
after their move.
Yeah, I
But
think they
think
can
about how
pivot before
powerful
and
that was
after.
before,
Like,
when
I don't
facing
think-
mattered. Like
I
they
don't
were
think
always.
you can say vector dancer without pushing your glasses up.
Vector Dancer.
Anyway, Psychic Awakening. They're,
Yeah.
they're announcing it tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow
tomorrow's the no-
evening, I think, is what
Yeah,
they
tomorrow
said.
I think at 8:00. So I think
Wow.
it's endless spells.
I
know
think
what?
it would be 40K in this.
So there's gonna be cool models.
I think it's gonna be. I'm hoping it's more. I'm
Well,
hoping
so
it's.
what do you think it could be?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of talk going around about it being some other stuff. Talking
Like
about
what?
like, well, not other stuff. More than just
Like what?
endless spells. Well, there's some people talking about how it could be. It could lead to the awakening of the lion.
How?
Nobody wants that lion awake. Let me tell you.
Oh, a lot of people, including myself, want that lion awake.
Dude, like, I think that's
Literally
reaching.
all you nerds with
I
the
don't know.
specs.
I mean,
I think
look at all the stuff that's come out throughout the years. I don't think it's reaching very much.
White men
Well,
with glasses.
they said
We should incorporate that into the title somehow.
What's beards and glasses have to do with it?
we all
we
have
all
beard
are
glasses.
like
All
we
of us are
all fit
bearded
the
white
same
dudes with
demographic.
glasses.
Like
That's true.
in way more ways than
Fill
one.
me in with all these nerdy assholes.
You literally just
you,
took
you
glasses
are a
off.
you're the
nerdy
comic
asshole
book
too.
guy.
And
Exactly. I'm not talking about 40K.
Two
Nerds.
You're not trying to reference some guy that intentionally left his hat at home so we wouldn't call him Hat Tony.
Nope.
So I mean, listen.
I don't see what that has to do with being a nerd, but good try.
He got his haircut
Because you
Saturday.
wear all nerd hats, and they're awesome.
Okay, listen.
I have a flash shirt on.
Hang on. We need to talk about this.
I got a Transformers tattoo
because the
also.
article
Who wa-
said-
Let me see your dedication to 40K. Where's your?
He's got you, Brad.
Warhammer tattoo.
No, he can't show his 40K tattoo. Not on air.
Not in this stream anyway. He has plenty of other streams he shows it on.
So, you're still doing that show?
Yeah, check out my channel on Twitch.
Yeah,
check out his Patreon.
Actually, Jason was just talking about where
Yeah.
he streams.
Oh my
What's up?
God, that's funny.
Brad in the basement. That's his Patreon name.
Yeah.
Didn't the article say that it was that all armies could use the psychic awakening?
I do.
I thought it said
I
it
don't
affect-
know.
affected
No, there
all
was
armies
no-
in
I don't
40K.
recall it saying that.
No, there was some talk about it. I was reading the comment thread. There was some talks about it on Facebook, and it doesn't say that.
No, what, but
I remember them saying
the-
that about malign sorcery.
I'm almost positive when they announced it at
I mean,
Adepticon.
it's possible,
it
and,
was-
and if that was the case, then it's endless spells.
I'm
And then there would be like the equivalent for like Necrons. You could have like their Catan like have these big powerful abilities that
Catan
linger
should
on the
just be-
table.
That should
That'd
just
be
be
cool.
psychic.
Tau could have like some form of like gadgets
Ethereal
or
should
something.
just be psychic
like
too.
you
No,
just
they shouldn't.
you use like a character.
I actually agree with that.
You can
Yeah.
buy like one of the like a shield wall for a character where he throws it out and it deploys. You know, that could be like
endless
your endless
gadgets.
spell.
Well,
yeah,
and-
endless gadgets.
endless
Well, in
gadgets.
Sigmar, there are like Khorne doesn't use any magic, but
They
they
use
have
prayers.
They have which
right?
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
like
so they
I'm-
use magic.
it's exactly magic.
Yeah,
It's
they
identical
use,
to magic.
They use
Semantically, it's the same.
Well,
exactly,
but-
and that's what
but
it would
it's
be
more
here.
powerful, right? Because all the magic you can dispel.
It's because
right?
when they poop, there's corn in it.
Wow,
That's how that
That's
works.
exactly.
Turn his mic off. He's done.
Censor
No,
that man.
That's why they call him corn.
But from a game design standpoint, like prayers
No.
are done on 1d6,
It's
and you
not.
can't do anything about them. Right, so magic you always have a chance to dispel if you have a wizard and whatever.
A wazard.
So I mean prayers are potentially better, right?
I definitely think they are. There's no, I mean, not their effect, but your lack of ability to interact with them.
Well, there's nothing. Now some of them I think automatically go away, like the Fire Slayer wall. There's a chance it goes away.
no, all the prayers, all the like endless prayers have
run
a
it-
chance
run it.
to go away at the end of the battle round.
I think
Seems
these just automatically.
counterintuitive to the name.
Well, they're not endless spells though.
Yeah, right.
Endless spells do not go away, but prayers, which are not endless spells, that are endless spells, don't they?
Endless
They
prayers.
can go away. Yeah, that's what we call them, endless prayers. So anyway, I think it's endless spells for
And
40K.
ending
I think that's the
Finite-
what's
finite
the room of
duration
You know what
Yeah.
really sucks? Is that you three are big Warhammer guys, right? And there's like this thing coming out tomorrow that might like interest some people and shake things up.
Mm-hmm.
In my own Magic community, something did happen Monday that shaked things up completely.
Yeah, your big
that
bands,
I can't
right?
talk about. Yeah.
Well,
Bring
you
it
can
up.
talk- Why can't you
Well,
talk
I can
about
talk
it?
about it. No one cares.
you
no
mentioned-
one. No
well,
one
maybe not
cares.
specifics. We can.
We just sat there like staring at each other for 20 minutes. Like
It's not
we
been 20 yet.
You can
We
have
haven't
your
even-
time.
I mean, we can talk about like
16.
the impact on the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, we
no,
don't have to-
that's still meaningful.
So yeah.
All right, I'm bored of this.
All right.
I was-
all right.
I was
Yeah,
just
let's
about to
move-
say,
all right,
moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah, because I walked in the store the other day and you brought it up. You're like, "How about them bands?" And I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"What?"
He came in and he was like, I was like, dude, did you hear? I was like, Faithless Odin got banned. He was like, okay.
I don't know what that is.
And it was really funny. And anyways, like, yeah, this is how we feel when you guys talk about 4K. I think.
No,
Listen,
I mean, I get
you
that.
literally have the floor to tell us about this.
Yeah,
That's only me talking though. It's like I have no feedback. Well, then,
I can-
then let's move on.
You can talk.
If you don't
about
want to talk
the,
about
talk
it,
about the reasons for
Yeah,
the
we were
bannings,
just
like-
talking about endless prayers.
Endless
How
prayers.
stupid that name is.
Okay, so has anything in 40? Out of curiosity, has anything in 40K been banned?
Yeah.
Guard.
No,
Things-
only
all
de
of guard.
facto.
Things
All
have
of-
not
all
been
of
banned.
guard.
Only de facto.
They've not been
Guard.
banned. They've just
Dude,
been
guard essentially-
nerfed out of existence.
Like guard.
The guard has been banned.
no, not like guard.
Anyways,
Not
so
guard is still really good.
Yeah, they're still
So-
incredibly relevant.
Modern Horizons came out in the spring. and it was the first time that they created a set that was skipping
Straight to
standard
modern.
straight to modern. And wow, did they really test their limits on what's powerful or not? Because they printed insanely powerful cards that they've had to go through 2 bannings just to fix it. They had a banning 3 months ago to try to fix it without banning any of the new cards. Didn't work. Then they had to ban a new card and then another card.
Now think about it from a business standpoint, though, right?
I understand why they didn't want to
It's-
print
No,
or
but
ban the.
it's so much better to say we messed up. They're too strong. Now you can't use them because everybody's already bought them, right?
Yeah.
Like,
to
it
be
just
fair,
makes-
to be fair, the cards in particular that they banned were all very inexpensive cards. They're very cheap cards. The decks were expensive.
That's good.
But
Right. What I guess what I'm saying is like people get excited about powerful stuff.
wouldn't you rather though them be testing? Like the one problem with Magic is that they print a lot of BS. They make thousands of cards that just don't matter. And so I'd
Yeah.
rather
but
them.
they're relevant
I
in their
thought-
set, right?
Yeah, but I thought that had to do with like those events where you
the limited environment.
Yeah, where
yeah,
you just
yeah.
build decks based off of what you're.
Yeah, that's what
you
it.
pull.
That's
you know.
That's what it is. The limited environment, those cards shine a lot better in the drafts and seals
You
and
see this?
stuff.
We all had input except for Brad.
Except for Brad.
What was
He's
Sorry.
okay, it's
what
okay.
was so powerful about some of these
Sorry.
cards that required them to be banned?
Okay, so for the deck in question, that was like, for the last 2 months, it was obvious it was getting banned.
Just super prominent.
Well, it could produce like 22 power of creatures on turn 2, which is
Wow.
insane when you start at 20 life. And another thing is
So
like,
it could produce for the layman that does like
Well, I mean, I still I
That's
don't
damage,
I don't play.
right?
yeah, well,
I
it would
know
put
I know
it
the-
wouldn't do that much damage turn 2. It would put that much power on the board on turn 2.
Basically means
And
you would
so
have
turn
to deal with
3
it.
you could do 22 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, up to.
Yeah, but the thing is, if it was like one creature, it really wouldn't matter because there's a lot of ways to remove one creature. It was like within 6 creatures, because it's
Okay, so to make it relevant to Dragon Ball, it's the
it's the
veggies.
it's the veggie deck, yeah.
Okay,
essentially putting that much stuff
Veggies?
out. Yeah, it was a
like all
Saiyans
the,
are
all
all
the
named
Saiyans.
Saiyans are all
Kaba.
named after vegetables.
What?
Saiyans are all named after vegetables. So like Kaba, Khalifa.
You didn't know this?
Dude, I didn't know until that
Vegeta,
deck came out.
Vegeta is literally vegetable.
Napa
What is
Kakarot?
a Napa?
lettuce.
Really?
Napa lettuce.
Kakarot,
Auto
carrot,
parts?
Broccoli.
Broly,
What's Broly?
Yeah, no.
broccoli,
Oh.
Vegeta,
Bro, do you live under a
vegetable.
rock?
Why are they
no,
named
this
after
is-
vegetables?
this is
It's just
un-
it's a
this
Japanese
is
thing.
news to me.
Japanese is a weird culture.
No, Toriyama had a thing about name puns. Every character is a pun on a name, or every character's name is a pun.
I'm really glad I don't like Dragon Ball.
You're messing
Well, like
up,
all the
bro.
gods are named after alcohol.
Every
I didn't know
every
that.
Beer.
character.
That's funny.
Beerus
Every
is beer.
character. So like all
Whis
the
is-
demons were named after flutes or
musical.
instruments.
Really?
So that's why Piccolo is Piccolo.
I didn't know Piccolo was a demon.
So
You're a fan.
You're a fan. Apparently not a very good one.
Beerus is beer. Whis is whiskey. What's
Clever girl.
What's the sister's name?
Trunks, Bulma,
What's trunks?
Like shorts, underwear.
swim trunks.
What's that have to do with alcohol?
So
No,
I'm
he's
saying
not a
He's not a god.
all
He's a Saiyan.
characters.
All characters.
That's not a
puns.
vegetable
names
either.
are puns.
they're-
So they're people. So their names, the whole like Briefs family is all about underwear.
I'm so upset.
Yeah, his name is Trunks Brief.
I'm so
And
upset.
their daughter was Bola, which is a bra.
I'm so mad.
That's just what it is.
This has been around for longer than you've been alive.
How do we
That's
get
fair.
to
At any rate, okay,
That's
okay,
fair.
banning.
Doesn't mean I've ever
so,
paid attention.
so not only did it do something completely degenerate too fast in the game that was hard to take care of, the win percentage was insane. Like because
Panties.
people, an easy way to counteract this was to jam pack your deck with graveyard hate. Now that reduced your percentages of winning games against non-graveyard strategy decks, but the deck was so prominent, like you had to.
You had a good chance of coming across it.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that's bad for the.
It's bad. It's
Yeah,
bad
that's
for the
bad
game.
for the overall
It's
game.
bad for the
Like,
overall game. So, but even through people jam packing the hate, it still had over a 55% win percentage.
that is insane.
Someone's asking if we do this every night, or I'm sorry,
Every-
no wait, is it every week, not every night?
every Tuesday night.
Drinking
Every
beer?
Tuesday.
No, this is just normal old.
So
No
You don't want
alcohol
to see us when we
infused
drink
here.
beer. We talk
Like-
about tariffs.
like the
For an hour and a half.
the sweet
Just
spot
want to talk about tariffs?
the sweet spot percentage for get decks and Magic is like 47 to 53%. Like that's a healthy meta for decks that have that win percentage. So the fact that like against every deck, even bad matchups, it still had a positive 55% win percentage. It was insane. So
Yeah, that sounds like
That's still
like
pretty close
Inari
to 50
level.
though. Like I mean, that's a pretty good buffer. You know what I mean?
that's
Like to put it in perspective of 40K, which 40K
But against, like, a
sample
lot-
size is much smaller than Magic, right? Like Inari was winning like 60-some% of their games before they got.
I think
Well,
at
to be
their
fair-
pinnacle they were at 67%
That's
win rate.
really
That's
high.
really
That's
high.
That's
really
no,
high.
that's obscene.
But that's a much smaller sample size too. You know what I mean? There's only 26 armies in 40K as
Great.
opposed to,
is.
oh my god.
as opposed to
Star Wars milk.
You gotta drink it like him too. Get it all over your beard.
Yeah.
you gotta go.
And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, at one point
Don't
you
forget to
had
nuzzle
Blood Angels at a 17% win rate.
Yeah, Grey Knights are bad too.
So
They had a
bad.
higher win rate than Grey Knights, but I'm sorry, they had a lower win rate than Grey Knights. but
Blood
that's-
Angels?
Yeah, but that's
For a
strictly
while.
because you have nobody playing Grey Knights. You have tons of people playing Blood Angels and losing.
ones are the ones with
like
the wolves?
patriotically?
The
Space
Wolves.
Wolves.
Those are sweet.
Yeah,
They're really
They
cool.
also have a terrible
They're
win
really
rate.
Yeah, they're one of the bad ones too. I mean, Space Marine armies.
See, that's sad to me that like you
Yeah.
can have really cool like meta and really cool models, but nobody plays as them because
Dude, it's
they're
hard,
all about
Actually,
winning.
tons of people play Space Wolves, but they just lose a lot. You have a lot of people
Yeah.
that play them still, even though they
Yeah.
aren't doing
It's
well.
tough, man, because like I mean, you're limited by the D6 system.
I mean, and,
you know
and
what I mean?
Also, you can change decks in Magic, you know, and it can be expensive, but it is much more time consuming to change
true.
armies in 40K.
Well, yeah, in Magic, if you can
very
afford
true.
it, you just do it the next day.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
It's a
40K.
pay to win.
Kind of.
You still have
Well,
to
there's still
pilot
a
it.
ton
You
of
still have
skill
to pilot
involved.
it.
I mean, RNG
Well,
is
no,
a
you
huge
just
thing
go
in both
net deck
games
it,
too.
dude.
But you have to
You
pilot
still have to
said net
pilot
deck.
it though. Yeah, no, Tim's got
You
a
still
point.
have to like
You
run
still-
it.
You still
and
have to
operate
play it. Just because there's a net deck or a really good deck out there doesn't mean it's just you put the cards on the table and you.
I
I
agree.
think 40K
you still
has
have
shown
to. You
that.
still have to play that.
I agree, but
40K is very similar.
The pay to win aspect goes down when everyone does it. So like everyone's getting the best decks with the money. Then it comes down to skill. So at these
Well-
big tournaments, you
Is
have
it-
to
is it
have
the
money
sa-
to
is it-
play.
Is it the same people typically winning?
Jason says Space
Oh,
Wolf players usually are just bad players.
So
Those poor guys.
Because in 40K since 8th edition, it basically the same group of players winning the same.
there is a large group of people that you often see on
true.
day 2 or making top 8.
Right, who are the better players of the.
Well, yeah, but I attribute that a lot to just the resources that they have. Like they have.
So you're advocating on the pay to win side then?
not really pay to win. It's I guess freedom to win. I guess because they have they don't have to spend 40 hours a week to
They
at a
ultimately-
job. They
right, but you're-
they have so
you're
much time.
have
boiling
more
it- you're-
free time,
What
but
you're
that's-
saying is they have more money, which allows them it's pay to win. Like,
Yes.
to just simplify.
Yeah, but
it.
you can't just say pay to win, because if I went in there with, if I had, $100,000 just buy Magic decks, I'm not going to win
Yeah.
anything.
No, but
Like,
if you but
there's still an enormous
if you
part
have the
about knowing
resources,
the possibilities of what can be in your opponent's deck, because of what can be
what
what
Jake's
can
saying
be
is
played.
if you have the time
True.
to become a pro, and you're inclined to, I still think there's skill.
Oh,
Well,
I-
they didn't
I definitely think
become
there's-
pros because they had all the time and knew everything already. They just are
They're able to
consistent.
refine their craft.
They're consistent and consistently great because they have time to test with teammates, kind of predict what's going to be at tournaments. They're very good at doing that, and they're very good at combating metas and stuff. And they're very good players on top of that. So that's why they consistently get to day 2s and top 8s.
Being
where-
able to analyze a meta and anticipate a meta is a huge.
well, when you have a whole team doing it,
No, but even like just on the individual level, like I think Dakota excels at like identifying like meta.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Or like this, and I don't mean this like as a slight on you at all,
I'll
but
tell you,
like
man.
you know how to fine tune things. Like basically, you know how to min max. You're a good min maxer. Like even to the point where you're like, well, let's just play a fun game. Like you always have an ultra efficient list, and I don't mean that like as a negative.
Well,
It's
I
just-
mean, like,
I think it's just how you see the game.
if I'm playing a fun casual game like
He brings 6 robots.
I was gonna say, dude, I played some fun casual games where we enjoyed the game, but like your list was not weak by any means. Like the one when I beat you with my Eldar,
Oh, dude, that list was garbage.
it was
I was running.
What'd you have?
I had
Just curious.
I had 2 drills with Electro Priest, which okay, that's not bad. And
No,
then
well, yeah, but
and then I had
Requires other stuff.
you had a Crusader, I think.
I had a I think it was an errant. I had an errant and 5.
Well, the
melee dude?
Yeah.
Jason, I'm not sure
No,
how it is in the
he wasn't a
40k
gallant,
world,
he was
but
an
like,
errant.
Oh.
He was the
the
one with
top
thermal
magic
cannon and a
players,
sword.
magic
Oh,
is
yeah,
their
that's
job.
And then
not
I had
good.
like 3 dragoons, and then I had 2 robots that got charged on turn 1 and never did anything
you
for
brought-
5 turns.
You brought 2 robots anyway.
yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
like,
yeah.
no,
wasn't-
that, I mean, yeah.
it,
that
like
wasn't,
no call, no like destroyers.
So
or anything.
basically, your ace in the hole were the
it
priests.
was a super fun game.
Yeah, were the priests in the drills.
Yeah, but
and
you know they
then-
just didn't perform well
Yeah,
against
exactly.
like jet bike spam and flyers. Like
Yeah.
they weren't going to stand up to it.
I have
No, I can see
I have
that.
an interesting. This
Can't move
is
as quick.
more of a not a game particular, but a philosophy thing. How do you feel about someone who is
Yeah,
banned
Jason,
from the
I don't
game
either.
teaching, like capitalizing and charging for services to teach them how to people to be better?
This is a
Okay,
huge thing going on in this group
Yeah, I
that
would agree with
Jason
that,
added me
Jason.
to. They were trolling. I told you that last week, right?
What did you say?
I said, how do you guys
charging
feel
to
about
teach you to play the game?
charging
Like for a service.
charging you for a service for they'll teach you the game and how to be better at the game, and specifically if it's coming from someone who's
It's a
been
coaching
banned from
service.
the game.
It's a coaching service.
Yeah, coaching service.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, but
You-
Like Cool
I don't
Runnings.
think I would ever.
Yeah,
I would
Cool
never
Runnings.
pay for a coaching service.
the ending
If
to
I
that
need
though,
a
where they've
coaching
been
service,
banned
I'm
from
not
the
good
game.
enough to play the game competitively.
Yeah.
Are you really?
they've been-
Like, you don't need like no one
Ooh.
that
So-
wants to be competitive needs coaches.
I'm not saying they don't need coaching. I need coaching.
You are a coach.
Right, but I don't get paid for it.
So why would
I
it
don't think-
matter if somebody was banned whether they can coach somebody or not?
No, that's a great point. I was just wondering about there's a person
I
in the
don't-
Magic community
I
who was
think
a
it
really
looks
good player
dirty.
who got his DCI banned for I think
For cheating?
For cheating, I think. And then
There are
So, I
there
mean-
are known cheaters in the 40k community that have coaching
But I don't
services.
think that's a
There's
big
one
deal
in
if they're
particular
coaching. I
that
think
changes his
you may-
name so he can continue playing.
legally
So I don't. I think,
changes his
I
name.
think that.
So funny.
Why would it matter whether they're banned or not? Like, why does that matter?
well, I was just wondering. I was,
He's on the other side of it. He's saying
Well,
no.
I don't care about
I don't care
someone
about
I
that's
think
been
they have
banned.
every right.
I think he's just against people like say like
Well, let
Bucky
him
really
say it.
wanted to learn how to play 40k, and I was like, hey dude, pay me $50 a week and I'll teach you how to play.
No, I'm
So-
talking specifically the coaching services. But to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Patreon either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to send you feet pics, and you send me. But people should be able to
Okay,
do.
that is
people-
not
What are you
100%
talking
of
about?
Patreon.
Why don't we let him
No, I-
articulate?
People,
I would sell feet pics.
I fully believe that if you have something that somebody values and they want to give you money for it, as long as it's consenting and not illegal, I'm cool with it. And I guess I
you
don't
just
really
never
care
would
about the
partake in Patreon.
I would never pay
feet pics
I'm
or
not, yeah, I'm not
coaching
doing
services.
Patreon feet pics.
I wouldn't
or-
either. But
Hey,
I don't-
there's
I-
a,
if
there's
they're
a big
banned,
40k
gross.
player
But-
in,
I pay for
in
feet
the
pics,
community.
but
Nick,
not
It feels
Nick not
dirty.
a
What are
body.
you talking about?
He has
That's
a
how he makes his living.
yeah, you know he has a coaching service.
That's on
He
the
teaches
internet
like
forever.
5
I'm
classes a week or something
confused,
like that.
What the issue
Like-
is?
No, there's no
I'm
issue.
just like,
If
Well, some
somebody's
people think it's
banned,
like-
they
so I mean,
got
like, if
banned.
I'm gonna ask for a coach for anything, I'm gonna say, and I have 2 choices. One got banned and the other one didn't. I'm probably not gonna go with the banned guy.
Right. Well, the problem is that
It's not
sometimes
like
these guys are dishonest, right?
logic
Like,
and reason,
like you don't put
you
on
know?
your coaching service like #1 banned DCI, like or #1 win banned.
Well,
You know?
I mean, but still, if I found out,
That's
I'd be
fair.
like,
I
sorry,
think-
man,
think-
I'm gonna have to go elsewhere because you're a cheater.
Right. That's fair. I'm thinking
But,
on
like-
I'm erring on the side of the guy that doesn't do the research. He's just like, oh, I've heard that name
So,
before.
but what's wrong with it? So just
No-
because
nothing's
somebody's
wrong with it.
caught cheating
Nothing's
doesn't
wrong with
mean that they're.
They're not necessarily
gonna
bad.
teach
Cheating is
somebody
also
bad.
not illegal, like
Yeah.
from a lawful standpoint. So, like, it's
well,
frowned
I mean,
upon in
I
our
would
game.
take advice from a criminal how to not be a criminal.
Right, but he's not.
Can,
chances
can
are
he not just go get a new DCI?
You can, but if you're
you-
playing in big tournaments, you're gonna get found out.
Yeah. I'm sure. Like Magic Online, they don't ask for your DCIs. I'm sure he's playing a lot of Magic
If you
Online.
want
Brad
to
knows
play-
all about that.
But
Yep.
yeah,
Arena,
you
right?
can't extend. You can't exceed to like the top levels.
If he wants to play FNMs, nobody's gonna say you can't play FNMs. But
Don't you dare
your
slander me on
DCI
the
is
internet
for
like
more.
that, Tony.
Dude,
No,
I
I
tagged
just-
you in an arena post, and you didn't even talk about it.
I didn't remember seeing it.
That was funny.
I don't know.
remember
Do you think
Playing
that these
Civ.
games should have the like GW doesn't do anything like the DCI, right? They
Yeah.
don't. They don't run anything. They should, and I think they will in the next 5 years. But how do you feel about banning players? Like I think it's a little bit of a slippery slope.
I think sometimes it's necessary
If it's healthy
if
for
it's
the community.
temporary, or if it's temporary. The most recent bans we've gotten Magic is either been for cheating. This guy got banned from our
What kind
cards.
of guy do you got to be to get banned from a game? By the way, like let's just think about
when
that.
money's on the line?
Scuzzy cheater, man.
Money's on the line. I guess this guy got banned from marked cards.
Marked
like
cards.
that's
Marked
blatantly
sleeves.
cheating.
Huh?
Marked.
Yeah.
so he knew what he was drawing.
Oh.
Or he could shuffle to it, or
It
yeah.
said its name on the back of the sleeve.
It says Mark.
No, it says Mark on the one.
Mark 1.
He got
my
banned
name-
for
Two.
Mark's cards. It wasn't even,
Yeah, I was
it
about to
wasn't
say,
even
it's-
malicious.
like,
it
those-
was
those
just
are
like,
just his
I didn't
name.
want anybody to take my cards.
No.
I can't read that.
So
Oh.
he got banned for one
I
guy
don't
got
remember
banned
seeing
for
that.
marked sleeves, and another guy got banned for.
July 24th. For a month ago. I don't remember that.
So
It's literally
Sort
the
of
same
I guess
thing on your
this
Facebook
this
page.
one is this one is very sensitive probably,
I'm gonna
but
delete that.
2 players have recently got banned from Magic for being I
Can
guess
we put a link to
accused
Brad's
sexual
Facebook
assaulters.
And ask for everybody to send
Wait,
him
for what?
arena.
Accused
Can we not? I do not
Sexual
want to get doxxed.
So not
harassers.
proven.
Magic
Not
Arena.
Not taken through the legal system.
That's
That's
a
the
big
last
problem.
thing I want.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't want to be doxxed.
I mean, there's
let alone
a lot of
doxxed with magic crap.
witnesses and I
That'd
guess
just be the worst.
accounts of it happening.
Now, is it a permanent ban, or is it like ban until we figure out if you actually raped
2
somebody?
people got permanently banned.
For an accusation.
I guess enough accusations. Like it was like
Dude, that's what the court of law is
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
like that's when you know
You
it's
gotta
enough,
take it to
right?
court.
like they're not in jail. They didn't, I'm not sure if they got taken to court
If
or
you
not.
can pick your kids up from the school,
what?
from the school, but
this
you
is
can't
why
play
5
Magic.
people is just too many because like
You gotta take it
three,
to
4
court.
people are on board, and then Brad's like, "Wait, what's going on?"
Well, to be fair, I don't think me and Tony were listening.
No, I'm listening. I'm
That's a
fully
problem,
on it.
too.
What?
Never
Go
mind.
ahead, go ahead.
Well, they're
All right,
talking about.
David
I'll
goes,
pick
"Is
it up.
this
I'll
the
pick it up. Just
NFL?"
go. Just go.
What did you say? What is this?
He
the
says,
I know
"Is this
that.
the
2
NFL?"
people got banned from Magic because they
What's up,
were
Eli?
accused sexual harassers.
Okay.
Harassers or assaulters?
Both.
At events or just like in general?
More.
Was it verbal or physical?
God, this is
'Cause
such
I
a-
might get kicked out.
This is such murky waters because you don't want to be like, oh man, you don't want to come across as you're okay.
You don't
want
wanna
to
be a sympathizer, yeah.
But like
Well, no, but
accusations, man, like that's just to me that's not enough.
Well, the
If it's
other-
at
the
events,
other-
though, I feel like it would probably be a best.
Well, if it's an event,
Right,
at
if
an
it's in
event,
events.
you can probably prove it enough to your own standards to a certain point. You know what I mean? Like if you're walking around,
I know one guy. It was more at like after parties of Magic events and he worked for Star City Games, so it was like after parties for work
that
events.
might be more like Wizards. Like, all right, we don't like Star City. This guy's out.
Nah, I don't think it was that necessary.
It could
They
be.
work with Star City Games.
Well, if
quite
they're affiliated, so was
Eli
this
just
after
says,
party
"Why
like
not just
affiliated
ban
with the
Magic
event?
in general?"
no, it was just like
See that I don't agree with. So
No,
like,
it
if
wasn't-
You're, if you're a turd outside of the community, and you've done absolutely nothing within the community to deserve it, you shouldn't be banned from it.
It's a tough call, man. Because I
guess
think
unless
I agree.
I guess
like,
unless
you
you're
have
doing
the
something
right
illegal.
to be a dirtbag. Like,
yeah, but I think they have the right to ban people from their events that they don't want showing up.
And see, I
I
don't know about
agree
ban 'em,
because
but maybe
Jason
refuse
Jason
service
just earlier
at
said
the
that
door.
Well,
he thinks player bans need to
that's
happen.
kind of the same.
Let me
thing.
ask
And
you,
I
let
agree
me
with
ask you
you.
the
Different
question.
from
What's
saying don't show up to saying I don't want to serve you. You know,
yeah, well, yeah, it's the
semantically
right, it's
different,
the
but
right
yeah.
to refuse service,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
and I would agree with
So,
that. But it's
um,
I
it's
think I would
different
agree
than
too. You
calling
just
somebody
can't
up
do
being
it.
like, don't ever show up again. Be like,
Well,
sir, I don't. We're
whatever
refusing
happened to like a
I think I
warning though?
refuse,
Huh?
prefer that. than
Whatever happened
show
to a
up.
warning? Like we've heard that you're being a little bit of a scumbag. Like if we get
To be
catch wind
fair,
of it again,
to be
you're
fair,
done.
we don't know if that happened
No, that's fair. But
in
that's
private
totally fair.
because it doesn't usually come out into the public eyes
Right.
until the
Eli's
banning.
he's got it all figured out.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, we already
He's got
talked
it all
about that.
figured out.
Screw you, Eli.
You know, I don't know, man.
I am in
that-
favor of necessary banning.
I mean, I obviously agree on the face of it, but like, I don't call
There's
that.
No,
obviously,
I mean, that's
okay, so
not
obviously
accusations
these
are one
bannings
thing.
were what was after investigations too. After investigations by Wizards of the Coast
Yeah,
too.
right,
So
But
it's
I
not
also
like
do-
they. It's not like they. It was just a knee jerk reaction. It was like, oh, you got. I heard this rumor. You're banned. It was. I heard this rumor. Let's take a look into it. Let's talk to people, and then they got a whole bunch of witness accounts.
These also aren't like.
So it's not like. I heard a rumor. You're banned.
It's not like you're in the NFL.
It's
though.
I heard a rumor 3 times in your band.
Yeah.
I do think it still needs to be substantiated. You know what I mean? Like, although I mean,
Well, I agree that if something illegal is happening, like sexual harassment or sexual assault, that those scumbags need to be taken to
well,
court
think
and
about
go
it
to
like
jail.
this. So if it's somebody that's making
yeah.
their living, if you're making your living playing Magic, and then Wizards bans you because let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Say they've had 3 strikes, right? If they were false, you'd take that to court because that's your way of making a living, right? And if he hasn't done that, I mean, maybe it's
Yeah, but if
because.
they're making
but I
a
guess
living,
if they're not taking it to court, then they probably did it.
Well, now you can't say probably.
but if they're making a living playing Magic, we can all agree they're dirtbags.
No,
Dude, I really don't think that these.
Oh.
I don't.
Zing.
How is it sustainable to have professional players?
They're dirtbags.
Okay,
What do you
I
mean?
I agree with
Who
what
pays them?
David says.
Wizards has a
um,
contract with I think 75 players.
To just play
David
Magic?
says
To
people
stream
avoid
and
confrontation
to come
in
to tournaments.
2019, so nobody gives warnings. They should, but they don't. It's all extremism.
Yeah.
I
said
agree
this?
with
Yeah, I
that.
would agree, David.
I agree with
I
that.
would agree with that,
Well,
but
think
on the bottom line is they do have the right to ban people from their own events. They're
And
private
I don't
events.
necessarily disagree. I worry about. This,
You worry
I mean,
about
this is a
you
perfect
worry about the
example.
innocent people getting punished for something they didn't do. That's like the biggest cause.
And I understand your worry there, but when they're if they start banning people left and right, they're going to hurt their own business as well.
No,
It's
you're
it's
right.
If
in
they're
their best
innocent.
interest to keep as many people
Okay,
playing as
well,
possible.
this literally did
So-
happen last year. That guy that his YouTube channel is now called The Quartering, but he used to be exclusively Magic events. He would like cover like commentary or whatever about
Yeah.
like on the floor of Magic events. He now is like an anti SJW channel in relation to nerd culture, I guess. The guy seems like quite a dirtbag. Like, first and foremost, let me say this, but like
I've heard of that
Remember-
guy, but
remember-
I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
well, last year he came out. There's like this female Magic player. I don't know if she was female or trans, but he was
It's
like
just a
basically-
female cosplayer.
But he was like coming at her like, man, you're too ugly to be doing this. He was being a dirtbag, right? Like he.
Yeah,
like,
But was she too ugly to be doing
I don't know. I don't
Let's
know.
not get me banned right now, okay?
Well, the point is,
Irrelevant.
You get banned just because someone's sitting next to you.
because I'm in the circle.
the point is, he was being a jerk, right? But he wasn't breaking any laws, right? But the woman came out and said, "I'm done with Magic because I'm being harassed," right? And he was flat out harassing her.
Because
and
the community-
Wizards, he's not allowed to be. He's totally banned, lifetime ban.
Mm-hmm.
He was guilty
I'm-
of the crime, but does the punishment fit the crime?
Well, I mean,
Well, it's Wizards' decision to make, though.
But
That's not what we're
but
saying.
answer the question. I mean,
Like,
does
is
the
it a fair
Fit
punishment?
the crime?
Sure.
Okay, so
Is
you'd
it-
say it does.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's a fair punishment?
Well, he's
think
costing Wizards business.
I think it's reasonable to ask the inverse of that.
Yeah.
Why is it not?
Okay.
That's
Uh,
fair too. But
I'm
he's costing
not
the
exactly
company.
saying
He's
it's not.
costing the company business.
So- okay, so
but
I
mean,
guess
think-
I-
I
like
guess
Tony
I
said,
agree
why-
with
Here's
Brad.
the thing. Here's
Like-
the thing. Like, so if I go up to Wizards and say, I don't like the way this guy says things, he offends me.
Yeah,
so he should be banned.
David says
Well, it
he
depends
thinks
on what
that's
he
a fair ban
says.
too.
But it's that onus is on the company. So
Yeah.
if they're costing me business, I have to decide what fitting punishment to prescribe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to the user to say was that fair or not. You know what I mean? So it would be more you saying why it's not fair.
I mean, I would agree. I would agree. Now, maybe lifetime is too harsh. I mean, maybe give the guy a chance to reform. But I guess they don't owe him that. But he did make his living from covering these events. Now, with that being said, exercise some personal control. Like, you don't have to be a jerk.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Well,
you
yeah,
have
of
to.
course.
But sometimes
was
being
she
in
too
it-
ugly?
Oh my
She might
god.
be.
I don't. I actually don't think she was.
Too ugly.
Yeah.
Let's not feed the troll. Come on.
Jason, I'm
Yeah,
what
answers
are you
riddles.
talking about, Jason? What?
What-
Give me a
Can you
little
scroll
more
down?
context.
Yeah, sorry.
Literally occurred in your store. Switch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's hard
What?
to say. I mean, Lifetime is rough.
Can I say
Like,
one
I
thing
don't
real
know
quick?
if-
Jason,
Yeah.
how do we make you happy?
Why?
You're always complaining, no matter what we're talking about.
Unless it's 40K.
Well, I don't
Even
really
when
think
we're talking
that's a
about
complaint.
40K.
Well, I mean,
I don't think he's complaining about the subject.
No.
well, I
Anyway.
just. I mean,
he
if
did say, "Why is
I'm
this even
assuming-
a conversation?"
I
That's
just don't
where
know what
it got
situation he's
failed.
talking about. I mean, if he's talking about the one I think he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess everything is handled by case, so like, is everything's different? I suppose. Like,
And I'm not white knighting for this guy. I mean, like, he was like, I mean, it was all on Twitter.
I think
The-
it's clear everybody knows your stand. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the
he
proof
wasn't. He
was-
was being.
he wasn't the wrong.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, man, like, if you're making your living doing something,
It's because of
You
the
had to
Star
run it?
Wars milk. Here,
hey guys, I'm back.
I'm back.
Star
Let
Wars.
me know
no-
if Jason says anything.
He said he's
Yeah.
not complaining. He's just saying that you all know it needs to happen.
He's
I'm not saying that bans
he's-
shouldn't happen.
He
I'm
switched
just-
over
I
to
would agree
Twitch
with
when you
him.
made your comment, so
Oh,
I might
yeah,
not have heard
he
you.
said Twitch.
Okay. What I can't read the Twitch
Oh,
stuff.
and
too far.
he just said he's
I
not
just told you.
complaining.
Dude, why do you need new glasses?
I might.
I might need. He says he's saying
no,
that we all know it needs to happen.
Yeah, and
I'd
I'm
agree.
not saying that players shouldn't be banned. There are flat out people that are dirtbags and hurt the community.
Yeah.
Case in point, the quartering guy. Like, that could have been perfect example. I mean, because it's all documented too. There's no saying.
Yeah, there's no hearsay. It was on stream, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like,
Which why you would say that on stream, I have no
no, it
idea.
wasn't
Well,
on,
people
it was
are
on
just
Twitter too. He like went directly to her on
Ridiculous
Twitter.
sometimes.
Still.
saying
It had to have been true then.
saying
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we talked about this with censorship too. Like, there is a point where you can just say, "I'm blocking this guy." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm just
Tell me
gonna
about
block him. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been blocked several times.
I get why.
I don't get why you've
It's a
been blocked
total
either.
mystery.
I know why.
No, but you,
Right
now,
after
okay.
this,
So
you're gonna
if
have to let
they
me know.
I
persist,
blocked you.
so if they persist and like he created another account, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
More
that's
mask.
That's more. That's
yeah,
actual
that's clear.
harassment.
Or like created a fake Twitch account to bombard us with slurs. Can you
Nobody
imagine
would
that?
do that?
Weren't there two accounts? on
yeah,
Twitter?
there's
there
two
were.
right now. They had been friends.
Okay, anyway, I mean that
All gaming communities are overburdened with people who cheat, including forgetting a rule and goofing up.
that's
a
very fair. That is very fair.
If
Well,
it's
yeah, I guess we're not
intentional,
talking about
then ban
cheating.
you.
You know what the worst part is? Like when you catch it later, you know what I mean? Like I've had that happen
Yeah, like
multiple
you
times.
didn't know they were cheating.
Yeah,
Yeah, or
and
like
then-
you're like talking to your friend, you're like, oh man, those shots were like strength
See-
5 or
See,
strength
what happened
7,
to me
whatever.
was like I realized after playing the game a couple of times that I don't like it.
See, that's
I
just
knew
wrong.
you were gonna say that.
We had some fun games of Sigmar, and you know it.
Yeah, we did have a few fun ones, and then all the other ones weren't.
Didn't you go like completely undefeated?
For like the
For a
first
while.
8 months of Sigmar.
Those were fun. Then I started losing. Who wants to keep playing?
Are we gonna? Wasn't here last week for the top 5. When does that happen?
Oh, let's do it right now. I was just gonna say, okay, we had a good conversation about
Well, what was your
banning
top
people.
5? Never mind. Moving on.
Okay, so tonight we're doing top 5 board games. In the future, I do like your idea of funneling it down, but that gives us infinite more opportunities. So, top 5 board games, bro.
Dead of Winter.
Did you not prepare for this?
No, I did. I
I-
had it all. I had it all. Munchkin Marvel.
That is one of the better Munchkins.
It's very different.
Yeah, which makes it good.
What
yeah,
do you
normal
mean?
Munchkin's not great.
Funny game.
What's that?
What do you mean?
meme?
Yeah,
That
what
is
do
a
you mean is very good.
hilarious game.
Uh,
Oh
yeah,
my
I gotta
god,
play
that
that.
game is fun.
haven't
Love
tried it.
Letter. And then number 1, Brad's favorite werewolf.
All right.
That's fair.
I don't hate werewolf.
Adam hates werewolf.
Oh, that's
a lot.
right.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Alright,
don't
Jake,
understand the call out.
All right. This is rough. There's so many good
David says
games.
You're gonna take like 3 of my games. I just know it. I can feel it.
Nah, maybe not. Pandemic is one.
There's one.
Scythe is another.
Never played.
Betrayal at the House and Hill is another.
Okay, that's super good too. You got 2 more to take
Somebody
my games.
didn't prepare.
me too.
Well, there's so many good deck builder games. I really like deck builder games, but there's one that I played so many years ago. That's a really old game. It was a Resident Evil deck builder game, and I liked it just because I really like the themes of
Monopoly.
Resident Evil.
It's pretty awesome.
And then Monopoly's the last one. No, it's not Monopoly. Last
I
one,
thought it was. What was it?
Life.
Yeah. It was Life, yeah.
Yeah, I saw your top 5 on Facebook.
No, and my 5th one would be. I'm trying to look around, but it's not helping. I put Scythe over Catan because I really like Scythe.
I think
Scythe is like
done
Katana.
right.
Yeah,
it's
I like-
Catan done right.
Like
like
Catan's a
super-
great game, but I think
super-
Scythe was just
I've never,
way better.
played Catan.
It's okay.
I think
not bad.
I think my 5th one would be like Carcassonne or Secret
another
Hitler is
one.
good.
I was. There's
Secret
one.
Hitler, yeah, maybe one of those. Two. I really like Secret Hitler, but you have to have the right.
Can I
you have
go-
to have the
can I
right.
go?
You have to have the right.
He
You have
named
to have
like
the right
12
people
games.
to
I
do
know.
Secret
Thank you.
Hitler.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
go
All
next.
right, I'm gonna go
because-
next.
No,
So-
I'm going next. So XCOM is definitely one of them. Secret Hitler, Mysterium, Betrayal on House of the Hills, and Pandemic.
Okay, so Brad
that, I
Brad
don't know
basically
what-
just said my top 5.
What's different?
Okay, the only difference is instead of Betrayal at House on the Hill would have been Castle Assault.
You know, I've never. Oh, I like Castle Assault. I've
Castle
never.
Assault's so
I've never
cool.
played Mysterium.
You never played Mysterium? Oh, it's so good.
It's a
Tim-
really good game.
Yeah, but no, mine's
Castle
literally
Assault
like
or Castle Panic?
Castle Assault.
The 2-player game.
Yes,
That's a lot of fun.
there's like a single player variant where you like campaign it. It's really cool.
Castle
it's a
Panic's
fun
really
game.
good too.
Yeah,
So-
playing board games alone is.
Oh yeah,
tight.
my top 5 earlier before I actually had time to think about it was Monopoly, Clue, Sorry, Life, and Risk.
You are off the podcast. Tonight's your last
All
night.
right,
Take it back.
take it easy, guys.
All right, here we go.
Dad.
So here's my
I love
top
Secret
5 in
Hitler.
order. So number 5 is Risk.
Why?
Because it got me into board
Horrible
game. It was my first board game. First board game that I really
You
loved.
don't
playing.
And he
even like
still
it
hasn't
anymore.
finished that game.
In fact, multiple
Risk? You
In
can win
fact,
Risk in a single turn. That's the biggest weakness. Of that
multiple times over like the last couple months, I've heard you say Risk is a terrible game.
game. It's not great. It's not great, but it opened up possibilities.
Oh,
that-
you know what? I know what else is on your list though, and if it's not on there, I'm gonna be confused.
All right, so Pandemic's my number 4. First co-op game I ever played. Love it. Mysterium is a lot of fun. Love that game.
I never played it.
You've never
It's a
played
fun game.
Mysterium?
You're a loser.
Call me a
Secret Hitler's my
loser.
number 2. There's nothing better probably than like standing around screaming you're a fascist to
Oh,
other
it's
people.
so much fun.
King of
so
Tokyo
much
is
fun.
really good
King
too.
of Tokyo is fun.
So
Then number
much
1, best board game of all time, Axis and Allies. Hands down.
That's-
Axis
that
and
one,
Allies
it
is
takes 8
super-
hours to play.
I'll
Such a good game.
I'll have you know that just like a week or two ago, my brother and I played a game in 9.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Nine and a
That
half
was literally
hours,
longer
sir.
than what he said.
Yeah,
He-
I know.
he
I'm just
invited
proving
me
him
to
wrong.
that, and I,
Listen,
and I
all-
you're
polite-
not.
And I politely declined.
All I'm going to
He
say
said
is
8 hours. We did it in 9.5.
if I didn't have to run the store,
It's like golf,
we
Dakota.
could play a lot faster. It's very difficult to have to
I
run the
don't
store.
believe
and-
you.
Fair enough.
King of
I-
Tokyo is
honestly
pretty good
couldn't.
too.
Playing a
Jason said
40K
he
game
likes
is
King of
I like King
Tokyo.
of Tokyo.
It's all right. It's,
I don't like that. I don't like
It's
that.
a just straightforward game. It's cool.
Yahtzee
King
games
of the
are
Hill.
fun.
Yahtzee?
It's a Yahtzee game.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever played
I
a
like
game of Yahtzee.
quick
You've never played
playing
Yahtzee?
games.
I don't
Stuff,
think
stuff
so.
that you get done in like 5-10
You ever
minutes.
play Uno?
The
That's
only reason
not
I
actually
like
solitaire.
Winner so much is because
Those are
you can
Yahtzee
be
games?
No,
an asshole.
they're not. I'm just
You
you know,
can be a
pointing out
traitor.
very
Somebody
simple
gets
games
to
that
be a
you've apparently
traitor.
never played.
That's fair.
That's what I like about Betrayal is because after like the first half of the game, you don't know who's gonna be the
Yeah,
traitor,
yeah,
and then
that's
someone's
awesome.
gonna be the
Dude,
traitor,
we
and then
played one game that was like the Space Maze game where Brad was killing his own teammates.
So much fun.
Great
I-
game.
can you remember
Never
what that
seen-
game was called? I
Nope.
need to get it in. I cannot.
One that we can't play anymore.
Yeah, we can't play it anymore.
yeah, it was that.
Couldn't play anymore after that. night
Alien
because
I
of
think
the
we
game,
won
right?
that though.
Yeah. Well, we did.
You killed me.
But you killed half of our team.
I think I killed one person.
Killed a third of the team.
Look, all I'm
I
saying
think
is
you made him. You
I
made
got-
him. You zombified him and then killed him. It was so funny. 'Cause I think you made him.
yeah, you made me
No,
into
'cause
an
I was the
alien,
alien.
It was a meaningless kill because he moved over one,
and then he moved.
and he shot over, and then he's like, but Brad, I'm there. And he's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, like there was no reason
That
for you to
game
go
is
that
so.
way.
You
Like,
never played that,
absolutely
did you?
no
No,
reason
I have
for
no
you
idea.
to
I have
go.
no idea what we're talking about.
Oh my god,
It
what
was
was
just
that game
It
called?
was great.
I don't know, but
Fun.
Brad killed me and turned me into an alien, and then
But I did my job.
you freaking shot into the dark into an area where no one would be but
You're
your
trying
friends.
To, you're trying to off-play. You didn't know he was there.
No, that's fine. But if I was an alien and I killed him and turned him into an alien,
Then-
that's literally what I was supposed to
That's
do.
fine. That's fine.
On accident.
That's fine.
This would be more compelling
but then,
if we knew the name
But
of the
then
game.
you killed me when I was on your
Yes.
team.
Oh, then that was just an honest mistake.
All right, so here we go. Is there anything else going on? Like, what's current right now?
Current events.
Like current events? Like what?
Is there
Spider-Man
no way that
negotiations
Spider-Man
ongoing?
the ongoing, or are they just
They're
like
still going at it.
What is?
the Spider-Man negotiations?
From what-
Because I've heard that they've made a new offer. I've heard
So
that that's not true.
From the
It's stupid for both parties to let it go. Like they need to.
he needs to
Everything
stay
is all
in the
rumors
MCU.
right now.
yeah, everything.
Yeah, I think
everything
we're gonna have
is-
to wait
but
before we see
from the
anything.
Oh,
from
Nova?
the actual
Nova's
response
this weekend.
Nova is going on.
from the actual response from Kevin
Right.
Feige.
Feige, bro.
It didn't sound promising. But Tom Holland said he's going to continue being Spider-Man, and it looks like a lot of
bringing
fun.
old pals back together.
Does he have
Who
that
said
choice?
that?
David,
Huh?
Does he have that
'cause
choice?
Garrett's
He
in
has
the
a
feed,
choice. He can walk
and they've
away.
been having their own conversation,
Yeah.
like on the
can
side.
walk
For
away.
millions of dollars.
I mean,
So okay,
he
so
shouldn't
what,
walk away.
a big thing that's going on at the store right now. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday, we have a buy two get one sale. Okay, and then we got a whole table of stuff over there that's 35% off. That please, it needs a home.
That Star Trek Panic game is fun.
It,
It
And it
is.
comes with an actual like Star Trek.
the Star Trek
Enterprise.
Ascendancy
played that one,
game
it's
looks
really
good. I don't like Star Trek, or I'd probably just have it. But anyway, we got there's some good deals, and then
he wants me to specify buy two what?
buy two basically anything except for pots of paint and magic stuff. So board games,
So GW kits.
all GW stuff except for the paint pots. It's all
Buy two kits, get one free.
Yes.
yeah, you can
That's
get this.
awesome.
You can get this Lord of Change, this Magnus, and this Demon of Zine Start collecting box
For free.
and get one of them free.
Does that only
It's
wait?
today, tomorrow, and Thursday. It's 3 days only.
If he buys two
What
impulsors,
about-
does he get a third?
Yes.
What about
Yes.
Friday?
You're out of luck.
What about yesterday?
Well, if you can go back and buy it yesterday, I'll allow it. Figured that's fair, right?
Yeah.
If
Okay.
somebody shows up in that time like, hey, I'm from tomorrow, and I need the sale that you announced tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I was thinking about that. I'll give it to you.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so that's going on, and then the rainforest on fire.
Oh yeah. If
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
didn't see that,
Yeah,
I put that as my charity for my
we're
Facebook
garbage.
birthday.
Did you? Oh, dude, Eli had the best one.
What did
It
he
was
do?
like it was a video. It was like Sony and Marvel have come to an agreement, and like you click on the video, and then it shows you.
Oh,
it
right to the
takes you to a
Amazon.
link to relief
to
for the Amazon.
Amazon.
virus.
Jason, message
Like,
us.
you got
We'll
me.
see if we
Actually,
can
you
work
know what's
something
really
out.
funny?
asking?
Apparently, that's not as big of a deal as they're saying it is.
It is
Okay.
because
So-
it,
the
Yeah,
same thing.
Yeah.
send me a Facebook
So
message,
it's
Jason.
stuff like that happens every year in the rainforest. And what it is, it's farmers clearing land for the land that they're currently using for agriculture. Is
yeah.
what it is. And so apparently, it's not just some like crazy forest.
So the
But-
farmland
they're-
is on fire, not the rainforest.
Well, yeah.
it
So
includes trees too, because some stuff has grown in the path. But like,
I know you.
so
can't,
from what I
I know you can't
understood
read
is
what he's
that
saying, but he's
yes,
basically
they're
just
controlled
nudes or
fires.
Yes, Jason.
they're controlled
He-
fires
you
that
said to message him. Do you want nudes
were,
or no?
were started
yeah,
by
sure.
the people that do
You
stuff
heard-
to
you
the
heard it here
soil,
live.
so
If
they
I
can
get
do
nudes.
stuff. Tim's not even listening.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. There was
No,
an offer
the-
of nudes.
I said so from what I understood or from what I saw, and this is probably taking this with a grain of salt, is that it's caused by people fires that is supposed to, do something to the soil to help future farming and agriculture. However, I think the biggest problem and why it's a big deal is that there's people who live in those areas,
Indigenous.
indigenous people that live in those areas are getting affected by it. So,
Yeah.
Plus,
like-
it's like the lungs of the planet.
yeah, I heard that we just lost 25% of our oxygen.
that is not true either.
I mean, I was
Listen, man,
being
I
sarcastic.
actually think the majority of our oxygen is processed through like algae.
I was being
So-
sarcastic.
A lot of it is algae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forest
I
fires
think
are
it's
not
the
a good. I
majority.
mean, they're not a
They're
good
not
thing
good.
in the short term, but
No.
they
Lungs.
literally have happened ever since there's been trees.
Prove it.
Yeah.
He's got me.
Lightning.
I
exists.
can't prove
I
it.
am tired of winning.
Dude, that's the ace in the hole. What can I say? I wasn't around forever, so It seems like an absolute win.
I see this as an
I
absolute
can't
win.
scientifically
No,
prove
I-
this.
It's an absolute victory.
But I mean,
Flawless.
forests
victory.
have burnt down
Naturally.
forever, right?
Yeah,
Like,
naturally.
Tony, I'm looking
Yeah.
to you, the voice of reason.
Yes.
Like,
Well, that's
not
why,
to say I'm
that's
glad
why
the
there's
Amazon
no
rainforest-
oxygen and we're extinct.
Wow.
This is all a simulation.
I hate that.
I do too.
That and
Honestly, I hate that less than what I said.
like, I forgot what you said, so I've already
Wow.
moved on.
Wow. Okay.
Anyways, regardless,
Wow, okay.
regardless, it's my birthday charity. Only me and my mom donated so far. So
See, I thought that was like I thought we moved as a culture past the stupid fundraising thing for birthdays.
Oh no.
But
I see them all the
guess not.
time. I see them all the time.
All
I've
of
never
them.
done one.
That's the
No, I
first
haven't
one I've
either.
seen in like 3 months.
I've seen them pop up. Facebook gave me a notification saying, "Do you want to do one?" And I was like, "Okay."
I
Well,
ignore that notification.
Most people are like,
I'm gonna be honest.
Hey,
I will
if no one
never
donates,
willingly send
I-
money through Facebook. They
never a single time.
they can
Unless
honestly.
Brad needs basketball shoes.
This guy
That
right
wasn't
here,
through Facebook,
true
though.
friend.
That was independent.
That was through,
Yeah. I
what was it,
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get any
That's
money,
fair.
so it was
Yeah, I
sad.
still hadn't gotten any shoes.
I got basketball shoes, though.
I did one time request that Perkle send me money in a group chat for the basketball league.
Yeah.
He was
because-
saying something indignant.
Indignant.
we just
Ignorant-
talked
I
about
don't-
we just talked about this. It's indigenous.
Wow.
He was saying something indigenous, and so I didn't
I don't
understand
know
it.
how that.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone
I don't-
translate, please.
I don't speak
Wait,
indigenous.
are we past that?
I'm sorry. I have a really hard time
Yes.
understanding Michigan.
didn't even.
Can I ask? Okay, so if the world is flat, would the fires burn differently?
No.
What?
No.
Why would they?
Listen, man, I'm not a scientist. I just thought I'd ask.
They burn. What were they
If you were,
burn sideways?
if
I
you were a
think we can
scientist, you
also-
wouldn't even be asking the question.
Yeah, I think we
That's
can
fair.
say that if you believe the Earth is flat, you're not a scientist.
Say that about other things too, though. You know, I do love like
What,
in,
if
in
you
an
believe the
article
Earth
when it
is
just
flat,
says
you're not a porn
scientists
star?
discovered. How
Well,
often
I
do you
mean,
read that?
We all
A lot.
know scientists that come into the store.
That's fair.
I mean, they're not mathematicians, but
Because
they
there's
are.
no math and science.
Well,
Okay,
obviously
listen,
not.
Listen, we gotta.
Yeah, there's actually not a lot of discovery made by scientists.
I thought you were going to say there's actually not a lot of math in science.
No, there's not a lot. It's
Tony,
mostly
I've read
engineers.
a lot of articles, and a lot of
then
them say
scientists.
scientists.
Hey, that needs to
prove-
be in merch.
What? Yes, yes,
I
it
will
does.
buy that shirt.
We're talking merch tonight. Maybe we might have some ideas for merch next week.
you buy the merch?
It also depends on what you mean
yeah,
by
we
science.
could.
Too.
We,
Like
this is a-
pharmaceutical science is like a. Is a
David
is a
goes,
thing,
"I'm
but you
something
might
of
not
a
refer to those
scientist
people as
myself."
scientists.
That's funny. I always love the like the
Huh?
97% of
do
scientists agree with climate
Dude,
change,
pharmaceutical
but like that could
scientists.
could
Oh,
and
they're-
probably
they're
does include
definitely
pediatricians.
I
Did
thought
you-
they might have called them
have
like
you-
engineers or
have you
something.
seen-
No, definitely. So.
Have you seen the dentist
Well, I will try
memes
Okay.
But yeah.
Yes,
of this summer?
like the one out of 10 is like no.
Yeah. There's like 10 pictures, but one of them's different, and it's just like some, and it's not always.
There's been a lot with like the bacteria too.
99.9% of bacteria.
You see the one? It's like what's that guy like?
It's that 0.1% bacteria.
I
man.
saved it. I'll show it to you later. It's so funny.
I have a Poxwalker meme I created that I'm gonna send to Tony next
a
time
good
we
meme.
talk about it.
Everyone has a Poxwalker meme that they've created because of you.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Everyone
I do.
There's one on the screen.
Okay,
I
just
definitely
for the
don't.
record,
That's right, there
never
is.
tell Jason that memes are okay to, or not memes, that
Nudes.
nudes are okay to send.
Stop looking at nudes.
Yeah, we're on stream.
I'm never gonna
And
do the
that's
same.
the end.
Thank you for watching this
Please,
episode.
God, let it
Continue
in.
this outrage.
That's enough. Hey, consult your local scientist, and they'll straighten you up. So,
What are you talking
they'll
about?
straighten you
goodbye.
out.
Love you.
What are you?
See you next week.
What a weird thing to
Dude,
say.
if you need to make any kind of moral decision, just ask a scientist.
That doesn't make any sense.
We're still on the air.
Scientists have